It's The State Show with Jeff Mavros. And here's your host, Jeff, obviously.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to The State Show, written, produced, and immediately regretted from right here on the vibrant campus of Illinois State University. I'm your host, Jeff Mavros, and I thank you for clicking the link to this video. I know it's too much to ask that you click the like button, so I'll quit while I'm ahead. Besides, if you really do like this show, I understand your reluctance to let anyone else know. Today's show is about student well-being in all its various forms. Over the years, it's an area that colleges and universities have thought a good deal more about. And today, most schools understand that several factors impact a student's ability to persist and graduate. They know they must provide resources and supports to bolster physical, mental, and emotional well-being at a minimum. Life isn't easy, and the demands of college life introduce some unique stressors. College students across the country experience more mental health issues than the general adult population in almost every category. In fact, more than 60% of college students meet the criteria for at least one mental health problem. Anxiety and depression are particularly widespread, with 1 in 3 college students having been diagnosed with depression and 43% with anxiety. Still, with the right tools and in the right environment, college can be an incredibly stimulating, rewarding, and plain old fun experience, one that fills us up as opposed to breaking us down. My guest today is going to talk to us about some of the ways Illinois State is helping our students get what they need inside and outside the classroom to be successful and to love their time as Redbirds. But before we get into all that, we need to break for this quick message from our sponsors.
Mode, style, élégance, polyester, chaussettes, informations de destination.
And we're back. Our topic today is student well-being, and there is a lot to discuss. College is a time of transition to independence, and new students leaving their family for the first time have faced challenges making this transition since, well, forever. However, the world is arguably throwing more at them now than ever before. Many students are juggling their coursework, personal relationships, and adjustment to campus life, along with economic strain, social injustice, food insecurity, and even various forms of loss still lingering from the global pandemic. Institutions are doing more and better to equip faculty and staff to recognize distress and assist struggling students. They're also finding ways to more broadly address wellness and policies and practices across campus. My guest today is Dawn Pote, Executive Director of Wellbeing and Recreation, and Dawn has a big job. She oversees campus recreation, health promotion and wellness, student counseling services, student health services, and Redbird Esports. I can think of nobody better to lead these important efforts, and I think you'll soon know what I mean. So let's bring her out, Dawn Pote. Thank you for being a guest on the show.
Oh, glad to do it.
Appreciate it. Well, you say that now. So student wellness, heavy topic, big, important topic. So
absolutely.
I was sitting down trying to think about questions I wanted to ask you, and even that, to try to wrap my mind around it was hard. Do you ever feel overwhelmed just trying to even do the work in addressing these issues for students? Or?
Oh my gosh, yes. If I were doing it alone, I would completely be overwhelmed, but I'm not. So we are blessed that we have physicians, nurses, counselors, we have individuals who are working in programming, and those are just our professionals. In addition to that, we've got close to 200 students who are either working in campus recreation or might be peer advisors in the Student Wellness Ambassador team.
Sure.
So all of us come together to serve individuals. And the thing that I love about it, every single day is different.
Yeah.
I mean, we're dealing with different issues every single day, but you're also dealing with great accomplishments every single day.
Yeah, that's a great perspective, and I love what you said about, I mean, it takes a village, but it also takes great leadership, so kudos to you in that. So
thank you.
As we talk about, generally, we talk about student wellness or well-being, and I'm using those terms interchangeably. What am I missing? What do those two words mean to you? And for those of us that are talking generally in these terms, what are we not thinking about?
That's a great question too. Wellness for me is an individual component. So here at Illinois State, we have a framework called 8 at State, and it recognizes 8 dimensions of well-being, of wellness. And some of them make sense: physical, social, emotional. Those are the ones you think of immediately. Yep. But also on our list are things like financial or spiritual or intellectual. And each of those can be done in a different way, and they mean something different to each and every person.
Sure.
So that whole concept of it's not a one-size-fits-all. For example, I'll give you one. Vocational wellness means identifying your passion, talents, and recognizing your strengths. Well, some people will do that in their career. Other people will do that through community service or volunteer work that they do. They find something that truly speaks to them and helps them thrive as an individual. So we look at that in each aspect of wellness. Well-being for me means something that's more systemic or systematic. So we're looking at what this means for our overall campus. All of our students, faculty, and staff are involved in supporting each other, and that's where wellness moves to well-being. It moves from me to us. And that's an important part of what we want to celebrate.
Okay, that's a great distinction, one I did not know. So I like hearing that from you. So can you talk a little bit about specifically as you think about the what was it, eight?
8 at State.
8 at State. And what ISU is doing right now to address some of these issues currently. And then how are we planning for what we expect to happen with student well-being and student wellness in the future?
Great question. I think one of the things that I'm so proud of is that we're doing so much. We may not recognize it, but all of us are doing something related to it. It could be that we have individuals that are doing prevention activities. So campus recreation and health promotion and wellness are focused on prevention activities or identifying times that set you up to learn and be able to advocate for yourself both while you're here and when you move on. But in other cases, we're dealing with boo-boos, or we're dealing with colds, or we're dealing with the runny nose and trying to figure out how to best move forward. So in each one of those cases, we've got a group of people doing different things. Where we move forward is start to recognize those community connections. So we know financial wellness activities are occurring in lectures that are being done on how to do financial literacy or be literate. We know that there's amazing work being done in sustainability that addresses environmental wellness. So as we continue to build all of those resources and pull them together, we're going to start to use technology so students have an opportunity to more quickly connect to what they need to move forward.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I'm a parent and I'm thinking of sending my child off to college, I don't think there's anything probably more important than thinking about their wellness and thinking about there's someone at that campus or there are people at that campus that are there for my student, that care. And I think that's you know, really critical. I guess the question that I want to ask is, do you ever feel like you've got 21,000 kids there that are all your responsibility?
Yeah, my parents and I talk about this. Yes, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because each time I have the opportunity to interact with a student, whether it be answering a question or whether it be directing them on how to get their insurance claim taken care of, it's an opportunity to make an impact. And you have the opportunity to do that. Individualized attention is not just something that is listed on a website somewhere.
Right.
It's how we do our work every single day.
Sure.
And that's what makes being part of Illinois State such an important part of what I do in my world.
So what would you tell families? I'm going to stay on that topic a little bit. What would you tell families about preparing their students for the transition in so many ways? And are there skills that students should potentially have as they're coming in? And what are the things that they should be thinking about?
That's a great question too. I spend a lot of time talking about what is it that you're doing now that you're enjoying. So if there's something that you're doing at home, you will probably find that activity here on campus.
Sure.
You're probably also, when you look at Red Bird Life, going to find something new. Like, who knew there's a cereal club? I mean, there's different things that you can do that stretch you to do something a little bit different. I think it's also important, I've got to say this, get your immunization records in early. And, you know, it never hurts to learn how to do laundry. So
I'm trying to get my kids to know that laundry is a life skill that they might want to develop earlier as opposed to later. If you've got any tips for that, you let me know. So, we're getting close to time, and so what I want to say more than anything is thank you so much for being our guest, but also for what you do every day to help our students. And you know, we talk about wellness at the individual level, well-being more systematically across campus. I think one of the things that we hear in our office more than anything is that students love their time at Illinois State, and so much of that has to do with you and all the folks that you work with, and so we appreciate it very much.
Thank you. I work with a great team.
Yep. Well, so before we let you go, though, Do you have time for just a quick game? We love to do this with our guests. Would you be willing to
Okay,
indulge us?
sure.
All right, this
I'll do it.
will be painless, I promise. But
Okay.
you oversee a lot, as we can tell from your answers. You do a lot on campus. So what we thought we might do is test the breadth of your knowledge just a little bit and see if you actually can answer some questions about the 62 areas you oversee. So
Okay, let's go.
Let me look for my questions here. Okay, so we're going to call this game Well Check.
Well Check.
Really just because we're not very creative. So that was the best we could come up with on short time. So we're going to do 5 questions in under a minute.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, question 1. I'm a free online self-help program that students, faculty, and staff can use to address stress, anxiety, or depression before these issues get to the point of needing therapy or other mental health services. What's my name?
Well Track.
Well Track, well done. Okay, you're 1 for 1. Question 2. This program allows students to pet dogs on campus during finals week to relieve stress. What's its name?
Positively stress-free.
Do you have to do the air quotes when you
No,
answer
you
that
don't.
way? Okay, but I like that you did it.
Yeah.
Question 3. I'm a program designed to address negative body image, especially among male students. I'm called the Body Project More Than Blank.
Muscles.
More than muscles.
More than
You are
muscles.
3 for 3. Question 4. Name one fitness class available this fall at the Student Fitness Center.
Oh gosh, I have to pick one. Zumba.
Zumba.
Yes.
Okay, so we're still offering Zumba.
We are.
Should I check it out?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. You're 4 for 4. Let's make it a sweep here. Question 5. Name 2 different ways. We're upping the ante on question 5.
Oh,
Name
boy.
2 different ways students can schedule an appointment at Student Health Services on campus.
That's a toughie, but you didn't get me.
Okay.
You can schedule online, or you
Yep.
can call Student Health Services and get an appointment.
Nailed it. 5 for 5, everybody. Awesome job. Dawn Pote, I had no doubts that you were just going to nail that. So
Oh, thank you.
You lived up to expectations, as always.
I'm so honored.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dawn Pote. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but it's about time to call it a show. Still, you know we wouldn't sign off before giving away some Redbird gear, so let's go to our Redbird swag bag and see what we have today. You know what? It'll be better as a surprise anyway. Our lucky winner will be randomly selected from those of you who email us at admissions@illinoisstate.edu and type State Show Student Wellness in the subject line. That's State Show Student Wellness as your subject. We'll check our email, find our winner, and mail your swag in the very near future. Good luck. Now let's put the finishing touches on what would have been a great show had it been just Dawn, not me. First, there are lots of factors that you'll want to consider as you research colleges. Size, distance from home, cost, major availability, safety, the list goes on and on. But don't forget about wellness. Don't forget that you're going to spend at least a few years of your life at your college home. Make sure your school is focused on your quality of life, and that means lots of things. Find out what resources are available in case you catch a cold, if you sprain an ankle, or if you're struggling emotionally with the demands of college life, academically or otherwise. Learning to ask for help is among the most important skills to develop while away at college, and you'll need to know where to go and who to ask. Much of that you can find out before you ever set foot on campus. So do your research, just as you would to find out what scholarships you might qualify for or what meal plans are available. And as you weigh your options, remember that Illinois State is here for you. No student graduates from college without support along the way, and the type of support each student needs varies. Your job is to be honest with yourself and seek help when you need it. There's no shortage of people on campus standing ready to provide what you need. Whether it's treatment for minor injuries or illnesses, mental health support and counseling, or finding your passion by giving back to the community. We want you to achieve your goals, and we don't expect you to do it alone. There's a reason students love Illinois State, and it's not because they all experience life in the same way. So come check us out and learn what we can do for you. Until then, take care of yourself and others, and go Birds.